Masters, hey, thanks for joining us again. Listen, we just had Anthony Lamacchia on the show, crushed it for us. This guy is, you can tell listening to him, he's committed. He's a hard worker, just a really solid guy, and he's going all in when so many other people will be cutting back on marketing and cutting back on what they're doing. Not him. He's going to go all in. He's done that for a lot of years. So definitely someone worth listening to. Don't forget to check out my next boot camp, guys. Real Estate 2020 boot camp. Just go to davidihill.com/2020 boot camp and check it out. We'd love to have you. It starts June 2nd. Go there for more information. Listen, enjoy the show. What up, Masters? Welcome to another episode of Path to Mastery. Today we're with Mr. Anthony Lamacchia himself. What's up, brother?
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, you too, man. I'm so glad you wore a tie for this interview today.
All
you got all dressed up this morning. I saw it on Facebook, man. I'm like, that's awesome. Thank you.
First time in 8 weeks. You know, we had a company meeting this morning. I did a presentation. I said, people need to start seeing me dressed like I normally used to, you know, and not in these, you know, without a tie. And it's time to start getting things going again. So I decided to put a tie on, and I left it on for you, pal.
I love it. Well, you know, it's funny because I'm going to throw some names out, but I had Grant Cardone on my show a couple of weeks ago, and he showed up with a full tie, suit, jacket, whole thing, and here I am with a T-shirt. Yeah. And the guy like threw me under the bus, man. He's like, you know, what's going on, man? Where's your jacket? Like, you know, let me tell you something. It's true.
Let me tell you something. I was raised by my grandparents. I think you remember that. We've talked about it a little. And my grandfather used to say, people act how they dress. And he was such a fanatic with dress code. And that's why to this day, our staff, I mean, there's no such thing as jeans in the office for staff. Agents can come in jeans, but they need to be dress jeans. That stuff's important because appearance matters. And you want to give off a vibe of professionalism. And that's why we do it. No doubt.
And it's how you show up. If you dress professionally, you're going to show up professionally. If you get up early and you do your stuff, like, you know, it's one of the interesting things that happened because of this coronavirus is I've seen a lot, and it happened to me too earlier, is, I'd sleep in a little later, roll out of bed a little later, not shave, you know what I mean? Show up on, sweatpants on a Zoom meeting. And it's just interesting.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'll admit the first week that it was going on, I was staying up a little later. So I was getting up at about 5 instead of 4:30. And after a week of it, I said, I'm not sticking with this. And I went back to my schedule. You know, the thing that's tricky about, running a business is you've got to keep consistency. And when you do it repeatedly over a long period of time, you don't even have to work at it. It just becomes normal.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was doing something wrong, getting up at 5, 5:05, 5:10. I'm like, this is crazy. And I got right back to 4:30. So I'm happy to be there.
It's a routine. And if you get out of your routine, you don't feel right. I didn't feel right. So the challenge I had is I always got up and went to the gym because I trained for, triathlons and stuff. So I would get up at 4:30 and go to the gym. But now the gyms are closed. So I'm like, well, what am I going to do? So I'm just like, I'll just sleep till 6:30. But even I feel unproductive, man.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I always think I'm in shape until I see you do one of your videos doing leg lifts, friggin' weighted, and, hanging leg lifts. I'm like, I'm not at his level.
Well, that's all right, man. In selling real estate, you're at a higher level. So good for you, man. Well, listen, a little bit about you, and you can fill in some gaps. You guys closed over 1,800 homes in 2019. You're the sixth independent for production, ranking.
Overall company. Yeah. No, I'm looking right now. Sales volume year to date, we're number 11 in Massachusetts.
Oh, 11. Okay.
If we only look at indies, we're number, I don't know, maybe number 5. And, by transaction, I think we're even one better than that. So it's, we're getting there. We're I've set out this plan many years ago to, I was a team model. You remember that. And then we converted to brokerage. We're a full-fledged brokerage now. And I set out a goal to be the number one, I always say the largest and best brokerage in New England. And we're not there yet. And we've got a ways to go. I think we'll get to number 2 within 3 to 4 years, but getting over that number 1 hurdle is going to be a battle, but we're up for it.
Sure. We're up so why largest and best? Like what's important about that to you?
Well, look, I think that I'm competitive, you know that. But there's a tremendous opportunity out there in the real estate space. There has been for many years. I think that, frankly, a lot of the companies that have been doing it have kind of gotten set in their ways, and they're not looking at new and improved ways to do things. And I feel very strongly that we provide a better product, better service, better support for our realtors, and, frankly, for buyers and sellers. The systems that we put together, the processes, the CRM that we built from scratch, all these things, you put them together and it creates a formula for success. And that's why when agents join us, they dramatically grow their businesses. And, we were pacing for over 100% growth this year. We were way ahead. And then COVID hit. So that creates a big bump in the road. I don't think we're going to be up 100% year over year now that happened. But, might we be up 80% or 70? Yeah, I still think we've got a good shot at that.
Awesome. I want to talk about that. But so let me ask you this. So you said largest and best. Do they go together? I mean, can you still be the best without being the largest?
I'll tell you why I say that. There's a lot of companies that are the biggest, but they're not the best. And I'd rather it take me 3-4 more years to make sure that we're the best at what we do. And if that means going a little bit slower before we're number one, fine. I want to provide the best service for buyers, for sellers. I want our agents providing the best service. I want the best services, the best support, the best training for our realtors. I believe we have it. But, things change when you scale. There's a massive difference between onboarding 3 to 4 agents, 3 to 4 realtors in a month to now when we onboard 15 to 20 to 25 a month. Big difference. And we've done a good job adapting to it. We've learned some lessons along the way, some of them with some pain involved, but we're to the other side of it now, and we're scaling, and it's finally happening. And been happening for about 18 months, and I'm obviously excited about that.
Good for you. Well, we've known each other for a while now. I think we were on a panel. I don't know. It's probably got to be 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
Since then. Have you always thought this big, or was when did you know, hey, I'm going to be, are you the type of guy that has to be the biggest and best at everything you do? Or
I mean, I've been accused of that. I've been accused of that.
When did this start?
I'm unfortunately not the best at everything. Playing football growing up, I wasn't. I was up there, but I certainly wasn't among the top 1 or 2 players on the team. But life has its limits. But in the real estate space, I'm obviously a competitor. And I will tell you this: when I was in high school, I used to think about and dream about owning a large organization and doing big things for people. At that time, my mindset was in the landscape construction, hardscaping space with my dad's business. And then it morphed into real estate. As I got out of high school, I started thinking real estate, owning property, developing properties, building, flipping, buying, renting, property management. And then it went into being a realtor. That's the funny thing. I got in this business initially because I wanted to be a developer and property management and those type of things. Now we're finally, after 15 years, getting going on those plans. I kind of did it in reverse of what I wanted to, but I learned that the brokerage is the heartbeat of the real estate business. Without realtors to represent buyers and sellers and things like that, you really can't. That's what feeds it all. So now we have, obviously, the brokerage business is our largest company. We have a property management company. We have a training business. We sell our training nationally, not to our realtors in the company. It's free for them. And then we have a development company where we're buying properties. We're buying 1 to 3 properties in a given month, a little bit slower right now with COVID, but we're buying properties, we're flipping them, and we're soon going to be keeping some of them in a long-term rental portfolio. So little by little, we're making my plans happen, but it's fascinating. I had a lot more hair and I was a lot younger when I dreamed about getting to this stage, and it's taken longer than I'd like, but that's okay because it's important to still be the best. And, and I believe we are. I believe we have the best realtors in the business, the best staff, and I believe we provide the best of everything.
Yeah, you guys do a good job, so I'll give you that. Let me, I used to have a lot of hair too, and then I went into real estate.
You can relate. And when I say the best, I have a lot of respect for our competitors. I mean, there's some very good competitors out there, very worthy competitors, and some of them offer some great things, and we're toe-to-toe with them every day.
So let's switch gears a little bit. Talk about COVID. I know, when we got into real estate about the same time, and I used to see you used to do the television commercials with Remax back in the day, and you had your business partner, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. And then I looked at what you were, I looked into it. I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of money. So that said, would you say that's why your business grew? Because you've been consistent with that type of marketing for the last 16 years? Because you guys have billboards around the city. Yeah. You're on TV, or you're on radio. Is that why you feel your business has grown?
Yeah, it's a big part of it. With the buyers and sellers, with consumers, I always say the advertising contributes significantly to the growth on that side of the business. And, with respect to recruiting and recruiting realtors, as you know, in the brokerage business, recruiting realtors is where it's at. But our marketing and our advertising directly complements that. We have you mentioned billboards. We have close to 40 billboards up across Massachusetts on major highways. Well, that has an impact on consumers, and it also has an impact on realtors. So the two together do a lot. And, the other reason, and I don't mind saying it, the other reason that we've been able to do more and provide more for our realtors is we're not in the game of the race to the bottom. A lot of brokerages, because of certain competitors, have been in a race to just give away all the commission, keep nothing for the company, and that has caused the business to become a race to the bottom. We as a brokerage, we keep a certain portion of money and we invest it on behalf of our agents to provide things that are better for them. And we're still very competitive, as you know, right? A ton of realtors who've joined us. It's not like we're keeping a substantially amount of more money than the competitors, but we're keeping enough that we have a proper balance, I think, or the best balance that we can come up with, so that we can reinvest money into things that help the realtors. Realtors want leads. They want name recognition.
Yeah.
They want to have a presence. And when you have a market that slows down, having a presence means a lot more. But since COVID, we've had a lot of people move over to us, and that's part of the reason.
So two questions. One is with regards to the amount of money that you guys do spend. I'm guessing you spend quite a bit. How is that being impacted now when transactions are down, when COVID's everywhere and people aren't spending as much? Yeah. And is that hurting you guys now, or how are you adjusting?
Yeah, we spend over $1 million a year in marketing and advertising. This year, because of COVID, we'll probably spend that or maybe a little less. We did pull back on the throttle for about 5 or 6 weeks when things just got terribly slow. I don't even think it was that long, probably more like 4 weeks. We pulled back on the throttle and waited. Now we're hitting the gas hard
again. All in.
Oh, because here's the thing, Dave, know this. There's going to be a whole bunch of sellers coming out to list in the next month. And I want our realtors listing those homes.
Masters, listen, bringing back the boot camp, June 2nd, 1 to 2 p.m. Everything you need to be successful now and no matter where this future brings us, my friends. Dealing with sellers, all types of sellers, from bank-owned properties, dealing with banks, all the way to absentee owners, expireds, for sale by owners, social media, wholesaling opportunities, voice drops. I'm teaching you everything I know, my friends. Starting June 2nd. Listen, go to the site right now. Get yourself registered. There's only 22 seats left. Go to davidihill.com/2020 bootcamp. davidihill.com/2020 bootcamp. This is full accountability. These are assignments. We're going all in, my friends. We're going all in together. Again, stop your recording now. Go to davidihill.com/2020 bootcamp.
So now we're hitting the gas. Wait till you see this weekend. We're going to be every station you can imagine, constantly pushing ads. And remember, now we're at the point, 2/3 of our business, David, comes from realtors. Like only 1/3 of our business is company produced. But that 1/3 helps fuel a lot of agents to grow up and to have businesses and to grow their own business.
So you just talked about agents growing their own business, but is it really their business? Because you mentioned that earlier. You said agents have a presence. Is it their presence, or is it Lamacchia Realty? Right?
Oh, no. All we want to do, we want to be the brand behind them. They are the face. It's about them. They are the one with the presence, and we do all we can to promote them. We have a 5-person full-time marketing team, and a couple of the people focus on the company, and a couple of the people focus specifically on helping realtors grow their businesses. So when we provide a realtor with a lead, okay, they pay the house more money when it's our lead, but they only do that once. After that, it's their client. It's not our client, it's theirs. And it's actually their client to begin with, but you follow what I'm saying. On that first transaction, the split obviously has to be different.
Yeah. Well, no, I guess my question's, well, with regards to the agent, like the agent, it's Lamacchia is the company, right? I mean, the agents.
But that's no different than Coldwell Banker being the company, Compass being the company, William Ravis, Gibson Sotheby's. It's the same thing. The agent is the one that we want to help grow their presence and grow their business.
Because the people do business with the agents anyway. They don't really care what company the agents are at, right?
I don't want to say they don't care. I mean, higher end listings and in slower markets, sellers care. But it's more about the agent. So we want to be the strength behind them to help fuel them.
So tell us about slower markets, because higher end, I get it. Like some people think like I have to go with Sotheby's or something, right? But when you say slower markets, why does that matter?
Well, we've been in La La Land for 4 years. Every home you list sells right away. 5 years, really, right? And you know, other than a few times in the falls that it's been a little bit slower, we've been in a La La Land market. Okay, but let me tell you a story. When I got in the business in 2004, my dad, who's very knowledgeable about the world and business and all kinds of things, he said to me, he says, you know, I don't know if there's going to be realtors around in 5 or 10 years. I said, well, why do you feel that, Dad? And this is 04, 05. Well, everybody's going online. They're just, you know, paying a flat fee. They're selling their homes right away because if you remember right, there started to be a lot more for sale by owners and people were having some success. Well, fast forward 2 years, the market crashed. The average commission that a seller paid a realtor went up, not down. So the slower the market is, the harder it is to sell a home. That's when sellers start to really focus on providing, getting themselves with a company that provides a lot of marketing, a lot of support, and things that make a difference for them. Because remember, when the market's hot, any Tom, Dick, and Harry realtor at any company can sell a home.
Sure.
It doesn't mean they'll sell it for top dollar, but they can sell it. But when the market is slower, that's when you find out who's good in this business. And you see, there's a lot of sellers that run to quality once they get to that point, when the market slows down, and that's when it matters.
So the market, there's a lot of indications that the market is going to slow down in the future. Real estate lags obviously behind the economy. Yep. What are your thoughts going forward? Like, let's look 6 months out, a year out. What are you seeing?
I do not think we're going to see some massive housing crash. I do not. And maybe I'm naive in saying that, but I study statistics more than anybody, as you know. And right now in 2008, May 13, 2008, there were 47,000 homes in the market in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Right now, there's 11,000. Okay. This is a supply and demand business. In order to have home prices crash, you have to have an oversupply. There has to be too much to choose from. Not only we're nowhere near an oversupply, we're not even near a normal supply. I mean, we've got buyers fighting over properties. There's still multiple offer situations going on. So there's no question that the amount of home sales is going to take a big dip, and it's going to start right about now or a week or two ago because of the slowdown that we saw in early March. Late March, early April. But a slowdown in activity doesn't necessarily mean a decrease in prices. So do I think the market's going to soften up a little bit by fall? Yeah, probably. Falls are usually a little bit slower of a market, and this year might be exacerbated because of what's going on and because it's an election year. But do I expect prices to go down 10 or 20%? No, I don't think that's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if this year there's no appreciation, or even I wouldn't even be surprised if prices went down 1%, but there's not going to be. This is not 08. It's not. And I wrote an entire blog on that with a whole video, and we explained it all, and we showed the statistics on why.
Sure, there's a lot of logic in that. I mean, it is supply and demand. So if there's no supply, there's always going to be demand. So you're right. And a lot of people, the reality is a lot of people are hurting right now. It's
unfortunate.
These are unprecedented times. It's tough out there. So nobody knows 100% what this is going to look like, but I agree with what you're saying. There's always buyers, there's always sellers, and what will happen is a lot of agents are going to leave the business because they're just not able to make any money in this business.
I think that we'll see some of that and I'll tell you why. There's going to be less sales. So as I said, this year we're going to see a dip in the amount of homes sold, and that will tap out some agents, no question. But when people tell me, is housing going to crash? Well, to me, that means prices going down. And I don't think you're going to see a mass amount of that.
Yeah, probably not. You're right. As long as we don't get flooded with inventory and rates don't jump way up, right?
Of course,
it's going to be hard for that to happen. So
and don't get me wrong. This is how I feel now. If in a month or two they have to put us back on lockdown, and then we do a 6-month lockdown, and the economy, I mean, that's different. But from what I can see now, we're starting to get back to a sense of normalcy. Things are starting to open up. I still see tremendous demand from buyers. There's still multiple offers. I think we're okay.
As of today, it's May 13th, 2020. People are starting to get a little more excited about selling again. They're becoming confident. They're listing houses. People are starting to come out again. So that's a good thing. But again, you're right. Who knows what could happen 2 months from now? Hopefully nothing detrimental to where we're at. So final question for you, man, is what are you guys doing? What are you doing to keep that growth? I know you said your goal for this year was 3,000 transactions. So from 1,800 to 3,000 is a big jump. What are you doing even in the COVID environment to make sure that happens?
Well, the first and foremost, we want our people to be safe. We want our realtors, our staff to be safe. So we have a very comprehensive reopening plan in our branch offices, our headquarters. But we're going to just keep doing what we do. We're going to keep marketing. We're going to keep training. We're going to keep messaging to our agents and making sure that they have the products, services, and tools that they need to run their businesses. We're going to keep serving our buyers, sellers, tenants, landlords, property management customers. And we know, you can only do the right thing so long until it starts working. And it's been working for us for a long time. And we're just going to keep at it. And you know what? If we end up at 2,800 sales and we don't get to our goal of well over 3,000 that we were tracking for, then we don't. But we'll be here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to keep growing. And we'll definitely still grow this year. There's no question about it. To what extent, we'll see. It depends on what goes on in the market. But we're bringing on a lot of great people, and we're excited.
I like the strategy, man. I know there's two types. There's all the people that are going to cut back, and because of this, and then there's people that are going to go all in. And you seem to be, at least I'm guessing you're one of those people that's going to go all in.
You saw me in 2008, buddy. I was running TV ads like a maniac. And I did pull back. We pulled back for 4, 5, 6 weeks while everybody was sitting on their hands. But now, wait till you see how much advertising we're going to do over the next couple months.
I love it, man. Well, hey, listen, I just want to say thanks for your time. And what would you say is the message? Anybody listening to this, what would you want them to take from this episode? Like, what do you want them to walk away with?
Oh, we've got a big realtor audience watching this, right?
Yes.
Broker owners, things like that.
Salespeople, a lot of salespeople.
Look, it's a great business to be in. It's a great business. You're helping people buy homes. You're helping people sell homes. You're a big part of people's lives. You should embrace that and enjoy it. And as far as your business, I'll tell you how I operate. Everything I do big. If I can't do it big, I don't do it. So it doesn't mean I'm right. I've caused myself some pain here or there by overdoing certain things, but most of the time it's worked because of that attitude. And if more people embrace that attitude, they'll grow their businesses.
Awesome, my friend. Well, listen, I'd be doing an injustice if I didn't ask how people can get in touch with you. So,
okay. Well, realtors can watch my videos, my updates, things that I do on Crush It in Real Estate on Facebook. It's Crush It in Real Estate. That's the best place to see all the advice I give all the time, usually by video, especially during this COVID-19 situation. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. I'm on. We've had a lot of trainings. This Friday, I have a training coming up. I don't know when you're going to air this, but that's the best way to be connected with me. Crush It in Real Estate.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. Good to see you.
All right. You too, man. Thanks. Masters. Hey, before you jump on to what's next, I just want to thank you for checking out the show. And if you like what you heard, please give me a review on iTunes. It helps tremendously. It helps us get guests, and I just so appreciate it. And if you want, send me an email, and I will read your review right here on the podcast. Email me, david@davidihill.com. Again, I want to thank you. Check out our sponsors. I appreciate our sponsors. Without them, we can't do this. Vulcan7.com for your expired physicals, all that stuff. CRM, Vulcan7.com/path to mastery. Again, David's free book. Get yourself a free audiobook. And health and nutrition, is number one to me. So check out Advocare products, which are tremendous products. As a matter of fact, Patrick Mahomes uses the products. So go to livelongersmarter.com. Again, livelongersmarter.com to check out health and nutrition products. My friends, again, I appreciate you listening to the show. You rock.